Well, here it is, the John Deere 350 sickle bar mower with a 9-foot cutter bar. Yesterday I drove the old 4020 down here to try and hook onto this thing and figure it out. And it was a learning experience, I will say that. I'm gonna have to wait for the manual to figure this out for sure. So there's this chain here. It's really windy, I hope you can hear me, but there's this chain here that puts tension on that spring to hold that bar in a certain place. And there's other adjustments you can make too, but I don't know what they all are. And there's this bolt that goes through this chain with like a eyelet at the end, and that goes onto your drawbar. Well, I was just trying to get this thing picked up so I could move it, and I had it set way too tight, I guess, because my pin just snapped. Busted right out of there. So I'm gonna go to Campbell's or John Deere and get a new one and wait for the manual to try this again. Small town farmer, if you're watching this, I know he's got one of these mowers. He's probably laughing, thinking what a dummy, because I don't know how to set this thing up completely right. Hopefully it works. I noticed that this bar right here looks bent in further than it should be. When I had this PTO shaft hooked up, I never got a chance to run the sickles, but when I had it hooked up, it looked pretty close to that shaft. I don't know, I hope I didn't buy a junk mower, but I think this is bent. Might have to try and get a sledgehammer or something, try and bend it back in, because when I bought it I did notice that this guard was beat the heck on the end, and I didn't know. It didn't worry me too much at the time. I mean, I've seen worse PTO guards, I guess. I thought maybe just something fell down in there. He got like a wire cut on it at one point or something, but then I noticed that these washers on the ends of these bolts here are just beat up. I thought, you know, I mean, the chain probably could have done that, or maybe this got bent in and hit it. I don't know. It's definitely a learning experience. This is the first 3-point implement I've ever hooked up in my life. So we're learning. We're gonna keep trying here. I think I might be better at picking tractors than my mower, because that thing runs awesome. But I've also been on a few tractors and I've never used a sickle mower. And this guard was off when I bought it. It came with, but this belt had slipped off on him, or the last time he had been using it, so I got a couple new bolts there with lock washers, and I greased the whole thing. Besides this pin right down here, because it's in there at an angle and I can't reach it, so I think I'm gonna have to take this bolt out, pull that thing out, turn the greaser, so when I drop it back in, it's facing this way, facing toward the bar, so a guy can grease it. But I don't know. Oh, and I learned small town farmer helps me out too. Get out of the wind. When you lift this bar up, you lift the whole bar up when you got it hooked up, this big link here on this chain will come forward and go over this kind of post here, or notch, this hole in it. And the guy didn't have a pin. All I had on me was this little clip, so when we had it on the tractor before that bolt snapped. I just put that in there to hold it up for the time being, so we'll see what happens. Stay tuned, I guess, for what happens with the mower. Hopefully we'll get that going here soon. It's not quite crunch time yet. It's almost April, but we still got time. So I gotta go pitch out some calf pens, but first I'm gonna move my tractor so it's not sitting up in the yard parked like it's a car. So I'll show you guys this thing start. Alright, there we go.